Welcome back to On the Rise with the latest CanMNT news, and after 10 seasons at the top of Turkish football with a true Turkish footballing giant in Besiktas, it is all unraveling through Turkish news media that Atiba Hutchinson has had his contract terminated with Besiktas. And this is all coming through a Turkish news outlet in NTV Spor, and they're reporting that the CanMNT GOAT, the true legend of Canadian soccer in Atiba Hutchinson, has had his contract terminated after 10 seasons with Besiktas. And this is incredible news, and news that nobody probably really saw coming. Yes, it isn't 100% official yet, but this is all being reported through Turkish news media outlets, so this is looking like it is 100% going to be happening, and this is very interesting to see. Nobody really expected to see Atiba Hutchinson's contract be terminated, and also this morning they've also terminated the contract of another player at Besiktas in Souza, a Brazilian defensive midfielder as well. But Atiba Hutchinson has spent 10 years with Besiktas, winning the league 3 times and always being there or thereabouts to win the league in those other seasons, and he has been truly phenomenal with the club, going 269 matches with his time in Besiktas in Turkey, having 245 starts, tallying 21,688 minutes, and he has been phenomenal, having 23 goals and 25 assists from defensive midfielder. It is unbelievable stats for anybody, especially a 40-year-old who has spent 10 years at the top of Turkish football with Besiktas. He's become a true Turkish footballing legend with Besiktas. He is always going to be a club legend with Besiktas. But now, of course, the real question lands. Where will Atiba Hutchinson go next? Will it be CF Montreal? Will it be Toronto FC? Or will it be Vancouver Whitecaps? Or possibly the CPL? But for me, that is definitely a last option, and that is farther down the ladder, as TFC are probably more so the frontrunners in this situation, as Toronto FC have tried to pursue Atiba Hutchinson in the past, like the past couple of summers, and it never came to fruition. But now it looks like it's Toronto FC's chance to bring him home and have the true homecoming all Canadian fans probably want to see, unless you're a CF Montreal or Vancouver Whitecaps fan. And for me, that Toronto FC is probably the perfect landing spot. And that's not coming from a biased perspective, as I am a TFC fan and a CanMNT fan, but I think this would be the perfect spot for him. If not, I'd love to see him go to CF Montreal. I think that'd be an exciting spot for him to end up as well. Vancouver would be a great spot as well. I think any of these Canadian teams for Atiba Hutchinson to land at would be all very exciting and be a huge boost to Canadian soccer. But TFC is probably the most ideal landing spot for Atiba Hutchinson. And I just want to take a look at all of really how this could work out for Atiba Hutchinson. I will also be doing a separate video, guys, ranking, of course, the landing spots for Atiba Hutchinson. Of course, the 4 spots being TFC, Montreal, Vancouver, and the CPL, which I will do that in a separate video probably in the next couple of days. But it is so interesting to see that after 10 seasons at the top of Turkish football with Besiktas, it looks like his contract will be terminated and has been terminated. And this is very out of the blue. It wasn't really expected. I didn't expect this, and this is such interesting news. Because, of course, he's become such a folklore or such a legend within Besiktas football. The fans love him. The club loves him. And nobody probably really saw this coming. You might have, which fair play to you, but this is just amazing and very interesting news to see Atiba Hutchinson getting his contract terminated. Yes, you might not want to see any player's contract terminated in normal circumstances, but this could be better for Canadian soccer. And I think this in a good way. Coming home, getting that homecoming back to probably Toronto FC is going to be huge. It'll put him at the eye of Canadian football. He'll be playing with the team with probably the most brand exposure really within Canadian soccer. If we're going to be realistic, I'm not going to be biased there, guys, but it is true. They spend the most money. They're really out there in the public eye in Toronto FC. When you think of a Canadian football club, that's who you think about is Toronto FC, and I think he would also fit perfectly in the heart of that Canadian midfield at Toronto FC. Like some Mark Anthony Kay, Jonathan Osorio, Richie Larea. There's so many Canadian teammates there already. This move makes so much sense for Atiba Hutchinson. So many teammates, so many friends, so many relationships he already has at Toronto FC. And it, of course, makes sense. Coming home, going back to Toronto FC, it just makes the right sense for him. Of course, being a Brampton boy, it's a seamless transition. And that's why the rumors have always been there for so many years for Atiba Hutchinson to come home and come back to Toronto FC and to go play for his hometown club. And I think it's going to be the right move. It's going to be interesting to see whether he decides to retire. Of course, he is 40, guys. We have to put that in perspective as well. Atiba Hutchinson isn't some young buck kicking around. He's not 31, 32, even in his mid-30s. This is a guy who's 40. He's going to be hitting his early 40s, and any footballer still playing in your 40s, that is incredibly rare. You're looking at like Zlatan Ibrahimovic and many of top professionals. And Atiba Hutchinson is not playing a position where he can just coast. That is defensive midfield. You're one of the most demanding roles within the footballing pitch and on the side. And yes, Toronto FC is demanding for a midfielder. They're crying out for a midfielder. Whether he comes off the bench, whether he is a player who plays once in every couple matches, sees what he has in the tank, neutralizes injury risk. Fair play, that could be how you work it as well. But I think this would be a great spot, a hometown coming for Atiba Hutchinson, of course, the Brampton boy. So many teammates already there, like I said, the likes of Marc-Anthony Kaye, Jonathan Osorio, Richie Larea, the list goes on. So many young Canadians as well that he can really, I guess, bring the culture to, getting a winning mentality in them, getting them maybe to influence them to join CanMNT or push them to make a great move and transfer abroad. So many young Canadians he can influence in that squad as well. Even could do that with CF Montreal. That is definitely not out of the question, guys. But Atiba Hutchinson, after 10 seasons with Besiktas, guys, has had his contract terminated. And now the real question for all Canadian fans is, where does he go next, or if he goes into retirement? We're also going to be doing a separate video, guys, like I did say, ranking all 4 options on where he could end up, possibly doing the 5th on retirement, and giving you guys my rundown how I think it could happen. Because I also think the CF Montreal route is a brilliant route as well as the Vancouver route. I think they're all amazing locations for him. I just think the Toronto FC one makes a lot more sense, and it just seems like the obvious play here. But guys, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Will he retire? Will he join one of the MLS sides, or even jump to the CPL? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Are you guys surprised that his contract's been terminated? Drop a comment down below, hit that like button, and drop a sub. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.